Okay, so good morning. A very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club. And as always, we are back with an important topic, a topic that is related to the mind sciences. And today, the series which we are going to start on the sharing on this community will be around a very interesting topic which is close to my heart. Okay, so as the ritual goes, I always start with some positive thoughts. Here are some of the positive thoughts for you to start this beautiful Sunday morning. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. In fact, I was quite fortunate to find some of the really great teachers and mentors in the field of psychology, in the field of mindfulness and neurolinguistic programming. And recently, I've been all the more fortunate to interact with some of the great coaches. And one of the areas where I think we'll be now focusing on is how do we coach ourselves in these areas to create more happiness, motivation, health, and energy in our life. So, an important thought for this group is that the first step for leading others is to lead ourselves. That how we can lead ourselves to become a better version of ourselves. Yeah. And most of the times we look for teachers, mentors, coaches around us. But the mind shift that I want to start in this series is that we can coach ourselves. And there are enough and many resources. And I have curated some of them to bring in a step by step manner to this community so that we can learn how do we coach ourselves. Yeah. And one of the important quotes is that in order to grow, you first need to let go. Many a times we want to become a new version of ourselves, but what weighs us down is the older self, our older habits, our older patterns. So, very mindfully, we want to create a space where we can be aware of the patterns which are holding us back, the old you, so that you can create a space, you can create the void, welcome the gift of the new you. So, that is the whole idea of this series. Yeah. And this is about mindfully creating that pause, that silence. That pause, that silence is a very important aspect of our daily life. Many a times we miss that because our daily lives are full of so much of technology, so much of things happening. So it is important that we take that pause in our daily life because that pause or that silence isn't empty. It gives us a lot of answers. So there is this space, this beautiful space that we have to explore where we connect with the most important being in our life, that is we ourselves. So we have to create a space in our daily life, some kind of a ritual, some kind of a reflective habit where we are connecting with ourselves. That is the power of pause and silence. In fact, we did a mindfulness masterclass, just concluded those 10 videos. You are somebody who has that inclination of mindfulness practices, meditation. There are some 10 great ideas that I have compiled, and it is available on our YouTube channel. And this particular series is about holding the mirror. Yeah, because what happens is when we look into the mirror, we look at our reflection and we can polish the mirror to see our true self. So, our awareness is that act of polishing the mirror. All our awareness is the foundation of all intelligent decisions. The clearer we are able to see ourselves, and there are ways to find that how we can create that awareness, how we can master that awareness. And one such ways is by reflective questioning, which we are going to explore in this series. Yeah. A very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club, and we have named this series as self-coaching series. Where I would say that it will not be somebody from a different part of the world or somebody who's an expert from the field, but the whole idea is a little bit of a game changer that it will not be anybody else but the future you, your highest possibility, coming to this present time and coaching you. So you are coaching yourself, which means that it is mostly self-directed. It is It is a practice where it is self-owned. And last but not the least, it is you who is going to work towards your goals by putting in action a lot of these ideas. Okay. Although there are spaces where we can have an accountability partner, or we can have, let's say, a subtle guidance by a guide or a coach, but most of this will be owned by you yourself. And that's the reason why we are calling it the self coaching series. Now, I'll just take a little bit of a detour and tell you that where this idea emerged from. Two of my heroes are, one is a Vietnamese Zen monk, the late Thich Nhat Hanh, and one of the best, or I would say the number one leadership coach in the world, Marshall Goldsmith. So I was fortunate to learn from their work. I was fortunate to understand their lives a little bit more in deeper sense. And the idea that emerged is that definitely the mind sciences and the way how we are holding this space on this community, they are important. But till the time, if somebody is not owning that aspect of working towards the goal, till the time somebody is not owning up the results, owning up the action plan, it is not going to happen. It is a good information. It is a good, I would say, to an extent, knowledge as well. But it cannot be integrated if the person is not experiencing it himself or herself. The whole idea of this series is that there are great concepts of psychology, NLP, and mindfulness, but till the time we don't coach ourselves, it is not going to work. So, the whole masterclass series that I wanted to do this time is this thought of how do we become the coaches we always aspired for? How do we become the leaders we always wanted to work for? How do we become a kind of a trusted advisor to ourselves and shape this new, better self day by day, action by action, and some really thoughtful habits integrated in our personality? Yeah. So it is a pro bono initiative that I'm running because I've been fortunate to learn with some of the great teachers and mentors. And this is just an attempt to pay it forward. This is a community which is open for anyone. You can join us by scanning this QR code. I think some of you have already joined. Very warm welcome to all of you who have joined. And once we learn these things, once you find that these ideas are helping you out, the next best thing that you can do is just pay it forward. Okay? So that is my invitation to you with a lot of humbleness and gratitude to all these great coaches. And especially in the coaching field, I learned a lot from the work of Thich Nhat Hanh and Marshall Goldsmith. I will be distilling some of these insights. I will be creating the essence of it. And on every Sunday morning, in just 30 to 40 minutes, not more than that, we will be deep diving into one of the concepts. Okay. If you're still curious, you can learn, apply, share, and whatever you find useful, it is yours. Feel free to share this knowledge. There is a Google microsite I have created. You will find more information there. And the key of learning more is this small habit is staying curious. So whatever has brought you here, this aspect of curiosity, this is something very, very unique. Keep keep at it. You will be gaining a lot because it's not that we are learning from a classroom or we are learning from a teacher. I would say the world is a classroom and the life is a great teacher, and you will be learning a lot. All right. So coming to the first lesson for the series, and I would say that it is the intention. Yeah. So let me just deep dive a little bit more on this topic of intention. So one of my friends, he's a Hindi poet, and he has a small saying which goes like this, and I'll translate it for our English audience because later on we'll be putting it on our YouTube channel, and some of our friends from the other countries also hear it. So the Hindi saying goes like this: "Niyat se niyati banti hai." Okay, so what does that mean? Niyat is your intention, and niyati is your destiny. So your intention will lead to a better destiny. The moment we change or the moment we align our intention to something different, that becomes our destiny. Now, this process is so subconscious. Many a times we are not setting up powerful intentions. The last time I heard is that, okay, Most of the organizations, they are doing a goal setting exercise where they set up the intention for the year. I think that's good. But what is lacking is many of the professionals around the world, many of the students, many of the young minds, professionals, they don't have this habit of setting a powerful intention. All we have learned is that okay, during the new year we put a resolution. Resolution is only good for 30 days. Then after those 30 days are over, we are done with the resolution. See, the whole idea of the Science of Mind Club is that we become very, very intentional in our approach. What is it that we want to create? Until unless we don't align our intentions, the universe is not going to set us up in that direction. Okay. So you have to be very clear that what is it that you want. That is the first thing or the first foundation stone for self coaching. Because as Marshall Goldsmith, one of my heroes, one of my coaches, he says, what got you here won't get you there. Wherever are you in your life, that is a result of the patterns, the intentions, the actions that you have taken. But if you are not intentional about where do you want to go, you will be where you are. So to get to the place where you have never gotten or you have not gotten yet, you have to set your intentions or you have to set your aspiration and goals to the places where you have not thought about. What is it that you want to grow yourself in? Okay, so this is a transformational journey. The picture beautifully, I found this picture last week, beautifully summarizes the transformational journey. And a little bit of a story I want to just share. This is a metamorphosis of a caterpillar to a butterfly. What happens really interesting is if you see, I would say the second stage, where the caterpillar has become like a small comma and then it becomes something called as a pupa. So I recently went to this butterfly park and I saw a lot of these pupas hanging. Some of them, they were shining in silver and golden luster, very, very bright. So the person who was there talking about the butterflies, that zookeeper, he said that, sir, that there is very interesting thing happens that when the caterpillar becomes the pupa, that time it dissolves everything which is there known as caterpillar in its body, and for some time it becomes like just like a I would say a mixture of some sort, and then finally after few weeks, so if at that point in time if somebody opens up the pupa, all they find is that there's no caterpillar but there is this liquid. There is this broth which is inside this pupa. Okay. And after few weeks the butterfly starts to emerge. The key insight is, first we have to let go of all the patterns that hold us in life. We dissolve everything, and after we have dissolved everything, a new you will evolve out of it. So when it gets dissolved, it gets evolved. Okay? So to lead with clarity, focus, and integrity is our intention. And you have to set up the intention that and look at your life, that what is it that holds you back? What are the patterns that have not worked for you? Create that space for yourself. Okay. And then we look into the future that you want to create. A very interesting work that I want to recommend to the listeners of the series is something called as ULab. I will give you the link later on. So ULab, transforming business, society, and self. And the first segment is self. The higher objective is transforming the world, but it has to start from you first. So in this, the MIT thought leader Otto Chalmers says that it's like a journey. You're going through a journey, and first you go down the U, and then you reach a point which is the point of silence, a point of reflection. And from that point, your intentions, your alignment, will help you co-create the future, the future you, the future of possibilities. So it is finding that space where you can connect with yourself with clarity, focus, and integrity. That's point number one. Point number two is you have to set up powerful intention for it. Okay. And two guiding thoughts is that living a life of purpose. So if you remember in uh, any organization, there is a vision statement. So what is your vision statement for life? What is your vision statement for yourself? Okay, so there can be a goal statement that you have for yourself for this year, may not be a very big thing, but then what is also your vision statement or your life mission statement or a purpose for your life? Okay, and you'll find that there will be an end. There will be end of maybe the old patterns of thinking, the old ways of thinking. Maybe there will be end of things that no longer serve you, and those ends are the new beginnings. So, friends, a very counterintuitive idea that I want to share with you is that wherever you feel in your life that there is something ending, always remember that that ending is the beginning of something new. So many a times people go through uh, downfalls in their life, they go through challenges, they hit a roadblock. Whenever you are facing a roadblock, whenever you are facing a challenge, personal, professional, anything, the first thought, a counterintuitive thought that I want listeners of uh, this lesson to have is understand that every ending is a new beginning, is a starting of a new beginning. Okay. Always, always, always have a growth mindset, have a possibility mindset. And before you start to coach yourself, set up that intention that yes, there lies a huge possibility in front of you. No matter where you are on your journeys, I have interacted with some of you. I'm yet to interact with more of you. I would love to interact with all of you and want to know your life more. But wherever you are in your life, always remember that there is a possibility of a new beginning. Today can be the first day of the new life that you want to create for yourself. One life, one life work. How do you want to design a life where you say that, okay, I am working towards my life's work? So, with these intentions or with these guiding thoughts, simple exercise that you can do or a homework I can give to you is that you take a diary or you take a piece of paper, a blank diary, and you sit in a mindful space, your happy space in your house or a sacred corner, whichever you can say. And it can be an hour where you're not getting disturbed by anybody. Okay. And with a positive intention, you write this question that who am I and what is my work? Who am I and what is my work? These are two very, very powerful questions. When you sit there in that space, the idea is that you are inviting the energies or the possibilities of your higher self, of your future self, come to that moment and coach you in that very moment. Because when you start to think about that, what is it I can do? Who am I and what do I want to become? What is my work? What is my purpose? You start to awaken that part of your mind, which is your higher mind or your higher self, and let that higher self guide you in that present moment to transform yourself from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And that's a process. And a whole idea of doing that, I would again express a lot of gratitude. One of the greatest teachers of our time, Marshall Goldsmith, and he says that you can be more. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing in your life, you can be more. I think that thought is the starting point of a beautiful transformational journey. When we in our life, just like a caterpillar, we are busy roaming here and there, but then we decide in our life, in our hearts of hearts, that you can be more, I can be more. That is where the caterpillar becomes. I would like to take a pause here. These are the guiding thoughts. This is the first lesson of self coaching, that you start with an intention. To recap, you start with questions that lead you to a lot of clarity, focus, and we want to lead others with integrity. We want to have a life of purpose. And whenever you reach an end in your life, always think that the universe is preparing you for a new beginning, for your bigger and better self. And we just have one life, we have to create a life work. You can be more. So I'll take a pause here. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. You can use the chat box or you can unmute yourself. No questions. That's also fine. So my only request is that whatever portion you liked, if you think that there are some thoughts that appeal to you, take action today, find that space. And if there are some ideas that you like, you share it with others. Okay, it's not my proprietary material, or it's not my copyrighted material. The whole idea of this is, as they say in Zen, that the life is a great teacher, and you continue to share. We become we become richer by sharing it with others. Okay, and take care of your loved ones, take care of your parents, keep learning, because learning is fun. Okay, so I hope that this short time that you spent on the Sunday morning was useful for you. If you want to find out more, there is a Google site. I have given you the link on this window, and there are many resources that I have put together on this. There is a book that I have written, there is a free Udemy course, there is a podcast. Just have to scan the QR code and it will take you to our Google site, where you can access most of these 4 5 resources which I've put together. And in case you want to follow some more daily doses of inspiration, I have also put together Instagram channel. I'm now putting more useful things on it. Okay, so this channel is called Touch of Zen 108, and you will find the quotes and the videos that can help you to grow on a daily basis. So that was my sharing for today. Thank you so much for your time. And I see somebody has just joined at the last minute. Okay. Yeah. So friends, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Or if not, I will be posting the video of this first master class on our YouTube channel, where you can catch up with the information that you have missed, and you will be getting that link. And feel free to drop in your questions, feel free to drop in your thoughts. If you have any questions, open questions which I can answer, or if at all you are at some point in your life where you want to kind of discuss with a friend, with I'll not say that as a coach, but as a friend, I'll be more than happy to kind of listen to you and share whatever little I have learned. Thank you so much for your time this Sunday morning. I wish you a beautiful day ahead. Let's put together a great coaching plan for ourselves. And the next part of the series, I'll be sharing another wonderful technique of self coaching with you. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Bye for now.